a letter, and she was very excited about this because this was perhaps the first letter she's gotten. But this was the first time she was addressed as Miss. Now, in English, the formal title that people are addressed with depends on age and sex. And there are a few exceptions where it's a professional title. So if you have a person with a PhD, they are referred to as doctor. And people who have PhDs are very particular often about being called doctor. So keep that in mind. It's polite, it's manners. Then let's see. Also, medical professionals are often called doctor. Um, Ministers are reverend. Um, Sometimes it's addressed by their title, so you would have a rabbi or an Iman, also referred to as rabbi or Iman, or then, as I said, pastors or reverend. Priests, Catholic priests are father, so that's another one. But the general rule is unmarried women are miss. There's a term for an unmarried man, and that is master, which has fallen out of favor. You only hear it in cases where they're making a point to say this is someone English and respectable and whatever. So, Batman, you have uh, Alfred the butler, always referring to him as Master Wayne because it's Master so and so and Miss such and such. And Master and Miss are the way that you referred to unmarried males and females. And after they get married, it becomes Mr. and Mrs. Um, and that's the way it's done. And it's a thing that English does. So there's that. And Anne was very excited to be referred to as Miss because it gives a level of formality that she's not used to being dealt with. Now, there's a famous actor by the name of Mr. T, and he wasn't always an actor. But when he started acting, when he left the army, he was in the army, and he was in the army. He was kind of a tough soldier, and then he left the army and he became a bouncer and a bodyguard, and then eventually a stuntman and an actor. So he started out as a bodyguard for actors, Sylvester Stallone, and then got into working in the movies. And when he started working as a bodyguard, they asked him what his name was. They changed his name. He said, "My name is Mr. T." So his first name was Mr. So no matter what, he was always going to be called Mr. And this is because growing up, he saw his father and his uncle and his older brothers all called boy by white men. Oh, he's black, by the way. Forgot. Mohawk, big gold chains. Actually, he's gotten rid of the gold chains. He sold them off and gave the money to charity. So, but anyway, he was famous for the mohawk and the big gold chains. He was Mr. T. He's big. Actually, he wasn't that tall, but he was just had a very mean look. Um, but from what I've heard, he's a good guy, nice Christian. And anyway, so he decided that he wanted the respect. So his name is Mr. T, which is really kind of cool. But anyway, so that's Mr. T, and why Anne was so thrilled to be called Miss because it was a term of respect. Um, there was a movie called To Sir with Love made in the 60s starring Sidney Poitier, where he played an engineer who was teaching an inner city school in England. Sidney Poitier is Bahamian, um, black, and he was teaching this, as I said, an inner city class. And these are poor, rough kids. And so here you have this engineer, well spoken, intelligent, and all of these kids just throwing slang. and acting inappropriately. He's like, no, I am Mr. You will call me Sir, and I will call you Miss and Mr. And so he instituted this rule and he addressed them like this. And by giving them the respect, they started acting like they deserved the respect. So it's amazing how if you give a little bit of respect to people, they will start acting better. And it's this just weird sort of built-in human thing where it's like you can mind control people by making them think that they're expected to be good people. And it's just this, you control your emotions, and then you control the words, and then you control their emotions. And when you control their emotions, you control their actions. So it takes work, but the essence, the first rule is you treat them with respect, and that gets you a long way in gets you a long way in things. Um, there's something that I've heard, Dale Carnegie class, How to Win Friends and Influence People. They do training, and I've taken the training, and it's all these Jedi mind tricks sort of things. And one of them was, if you're having a conversation with somebody and you do about 25% of the talking, you let them do 75% of the talking. That's about what the ratio works out to be. That they think it's a great conversation and they love it, and it doesn't seem awkward at all. And the trick is, you don't have to do anything. It's you just let them speak, and you let them speak, and you let them speak. And once again, it's one of these things that just works wonders. So, and that was Marilla's advice to Anne. It's like, just be quiet. And yeah, it's one of those things that really just works.